all hear me? Live stream good? Perfect. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sydney Cadiala. Some of you have met me, some of you have not, and I am the new director of WISE. And on behalf of the WISE department, I welcome you to this year's WISE reception. Marie Curie said, "We must have perseverance and above all, confidence in ourselves. We must believe that we are gifted for something and that this thing must be attained. No matter what you do in life, you need to have confidence in yourselves. Tonight we are here to honor all of you who had confidence in yourselves to complete the WISE reception and the WISE program." So we begin with honoring a junior who received an award for the Connecticut Science and Engineering Fair. So through an independent project, this Westover WISE student created a flexible mechanical worm-based steering gear. They created a mechanical silk worm with a spring-loaded deformation function that can adapt to complex terrain conditions. This student won multiple awards and honors for their project. So I present Annie with congratulations on her project and excellence in science and engineering. And you get a plaque. She had no idea that was happening tonight. She was super surprised. So tonight we begin with two presentations from the engineering design class, which was a class from the spring term. These groups were tasked with redesigning the WISE classroom to create an inclusive environment. So using everything we went through for the entire year, they created two different solutions for the situation and creating a more inclusive classroom. So our first presentation is from Hazel, Jade, Julia, and Yael.
Good evening, everyone. Our engineering design group, as Ms. Cadiala said, was tasked with redesigning the WISE space. We chose to do so for audibly impaired students. We look forward to sharing how we work to make the classroom accommodate special populations and what we learned from this process.
Our team consists of us four who are all senior in the WISE program. Hi, I'm Hazel. I'm a creative art director.
I'm Ellie. I'm our CEO.
I'm Julia. I'm the CFO.
And I'm Jade, our COO. So before we began any work or research, we needed to reevaluate what our problem is and how we will aim to solve it. We devised the following problem and design statements to outline our work. Problem statement: the WISE classroom does not conform to the needs of deaf students. Learning is through all senses, and for students who cannot hear sound, learning and absorbing new information relies entirely on vision in the classroom. Our goal is to optimize a method and arrangement in which non-hearing students can receive transcriptions of spoken word from hearing teachers with the most ease and allow for note-taking. Design statement: by redesigning seating with translation software as well as creating norms and practices for the classroom to be suited for special populations, the WISE program can achieve an inclusive and accessible learning space. The seating and screen arrangement will allow deaf students to read the information as it comes up right near where they are taking notes, eliminating the need to constantly look down, up and down, which would result in information being missed.
So next we conducted our research using the sources listed below and talking to individuals in our community. We knew that we need specific closed captioning software. Speech-to-text services, STTS, is an umbrella term used to describe an accommodation where spoken communication, as well as other auditory information, is translated into text in real time. A service provider types what is heard and the text appears on the screen for the consumer to read. There are three main types of STTS that you can read below. So through the research and speaking to individuals who are experienced with deaf schools and cultures, we also noticed two important things to add to our new classroom. For teachers, only wear a solid colors and clothes without words, so that while teaching, as it can overstimulate and hard of hearing and deaf students who take in information visually. And how to communicate important announcements like fire alarms or the bells going off, LED marquees are used in deaf schools and places to do so.
So using our research, we formulated 3 different models of the classroom that included transcription scenes that we felt would help deaf students in their learning experience and taking notes. We then evaluated each solution before we reached our final design. Our first idea, as seen here, was to have closed captioning from the teacher's speech presented at the smartboard at the front of the classroom. While this design allows for teachers to easily get attention of students, as they will already be looking at the front of the room, and this design is optimal for demonstrations and visuals, we've realized that this layout is difficult for non-hearing students to take notes, as their attention will be split between the front of the room and down at their table where they will be writing. So there will likely be a lot of information missed looking up and down.
Our second idea was to equip each seat with an individual screen that can be adjusted to whatever position the students want. This design is good because the adjustable screens allow students to move them to whatever angle and position they feel best. And if lighting changes, students can readjust their screen to increase the screen's visibility. But this design makes it difficult for teachers to get deaf students' attention at the front of the room, as their screen might be blocking the view to the teacher. And there potentially is still lots of looking up and down while taking notes.
Our third idea was to have transcription screens at each seat at the table, similar to how operas have subtitle screens at each seat. The pros of this design were strong. Best location for taking notes, as students don't need to look up and down to get information. Because it's embedded into the table, the screens can vibrate at the teacher's command to get students' attention. Yet this design does not accommodate lighting changes.
Using the first idea, we weighted the attributes of each in the design matrix to measure the success of each design, as you can see up here. We also create a morphological chart to demonstrate the aspect of each and how they contribute to our goals.
Taking these three ideas into consideration, we began to formulate and model what would become our final solution, which is a modification of the third idea we just presented. This was the one with the individual screens at each table spot. From there, we chose to make some changes and adjustments based on what we felt still need to be addressed. We reevaluated the tables themselves and opted for a tiered lecture hall style seating, which will allow all students to see the front of the classroom with ease. This is optimal for demonstrations and visuals, as the view to the front of the classroom is unobstructed. We also angled the screens themselves for easier taking notes.
Then we focused on other ways the wide space can be more inclusive to limited hearing individuals beyond just our redesign. We drafted classroom norms that include only one speaker at a time for accuracy with transcription technology, that teachers or instructors should only wear one color and clothes without text or busy print on them, as this is very distracting to deaf people who take in all information visually. And we want to expand Westover's ASL program and education. We also think that LED markers should be in the classroom for bells, flashing lights for fire alarms, and any other important announcements.
And finally, focus on the transcription screens. Each seat will be equipped with a screen that uses voice recognition software to display closed captioning from the teachers. And these screens will be easily viewable and not impair the note-taking process. And here's the final sketch and CAD models of our components, as well as our 3D printing and foam board model. This is our 3D printing of the screen, and there's like our foam board right there, if you guys want to see later.
Yeah.
Then here are photos inside that foam board.
Finally, we reevaluated our design to make sure it was fulfilling all the attributes we found necessary. Transcription closed captioning screens, in an easily viewable location and angle, optimizes note-taking experience for students who will be getting the lessons slowly through transcriptions. Seating. Tiered seating allows all students to view the front of the classroom and the teacher easily. With the screens embedded into the tables, the teacher can activate a vibration signal to alert students who are looking down and taking notes to look to the front of the classroom. Classroom experience. Hard of hearing and deaf individuals will be able to participate in real-time classes alongside hearing classmates and be able to take notes and learn information. Specific accommodations, while catering to the deaf community, improve the quality of the learning experience at Westover for other students as well, who can benefit from having a transcription to read and alerts to look up.
For our final reflections, if given more time to work on this project, we would research different transcription softwares and services and then select one that we'd like to use. We'd figure out and test to discover the optimal angles that our screens, as seen here, should be tilted at. And then we'd also try to add a screen into this 3D model itself to simulate how it would work. And then finally, we'd like to research and implement vibration technology to work out how that specific mechanism will work as well.
We hope you learned something from our presentation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. Presentations like this get me so excited about what we do in WISE. I think it's just amazing when you think about what the opportunities are and how we can affect change for all. Because something like this helps everyone out. Imagine if your desk vibrated to make sure you paid attention. That's amazing. I would have never thought of that. So it's really exciting to see what all of you get to think of when going through projects. So thank you for that presentation, and thank you for the color coordination. Our next presentation is from AJ, Alana, Leah, and Maya, who can't be here but is here in spirit. So please come on up. There's a little lag, so just be cautious.
All right. Okay, hi everyone, and welcome to our presentation. We are Leah, AJ, and Elena, and Maya can't be here today. But we redesigned the WISE classroom for visually and hearing impaired people. So we started with thinking with okay, so we have this classroom kind of already set up, and we wanted to make it where, sorry, there's a little lag. We wanted to make the classroom be very inclusive, and we started with our research, and we looked into kind of what can we do to make it as accessible, as comfortable, and we really wanted to make sure that students would be able to hear and see, because disability comes in a wide spectrum. So we wanted not only for it to have like a small or a major attribute, but to be able to be flexible for all different types of people. Yeah, here in our sketch you can see that we decided to put the desks and the boards, the smart boards, in a circle so the teacher can walk into that circle and the sound can travel equally to each student. We also added blackout curtains on the window so no light travels into the classroom, distracting from the light of the screens. And we would also make sure to add adjustable lighting system for the classroom.
And we added in where the teacher, you see at the bottom, would be fully mic'd and would have sound all around the classroom and would have a tablet in front of them, and each desk has a screen at it, so there'd be full connection between every screen, and there's still a screen in the front of the room. On every screen there would be a caption, and there'd be a Bluetooth option for students with hearing aids to connect your hearing aid automatically to the mic with the teacher so you can hear. We'd also make sure that if students with different sounds, you can adjust as much your headphones as needed and have your screen be able to be fully adjustable and customizable to you. And that is something that we wanted to really make sure that for each student it'd be an experience. We also made the desk in a circular, but we wanted it to be able to also be able to move if needed and have our desk be where the teacher could enter but also leave that spot if students don't need the teacher in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
We focused on the research with dealing with glare as well as light bulbs. A lot of our research was on light bulbs, where we learned that fluorescent and LEDs tend to flicker and have high volumes of light that tend to be very varied, not very solid. We also focused on researching of blackout curtains because of the glare that can come in from natural sunlight. So we focused on making the classroom light but controlled light, so that way we could adjust lighting for certain people. We also focused on headphones and hearing aid adjustments that are able to be some sort of Bluetooth or connected to said microphones, as Leah talked about. And we made sure that each student had the accessibility to see the screens. So as I have here, would be our smart screen type thing. These would be, we'd have like 4 to 6 in a circle, so that way each student could see one, as well as a smaller screen on their desk. So that way these students could see live captioning as well as screen mirroring, so that way each student can see it up close instead of having to look up and all around. Plus the teacher, since it be around in a circular formation, most students can see the teacher pretty much at all times. So therefore we have that ability so each student can see the teacher and understand what she's saying.
Yeah. So that was our sketch, and our final thing is over there. It's like a whole little station. But we really wanted it to also be compatible with the children, and I think that was a main thing for us, like to meet the children where they're at, not so much meet kind of the norm that can be surrounded with that. Also, we wanted to make sure that every computer would be able to save what they learned and have a copy to take home with them, because you know, being in that spectrum, you might not always get everything in that one moment, and we want to give them the option to also take away what they're learning in and out of the classroom as well. And yeah, that was it.
What's so great about that is there are so many things that we had to do when we were all online, where mics, have screens, do all these things. So I think accessibility is always super important, and it always varies on the type of person you are. And I think it's just so exciting. This just gives me so much energy on a Wednesday evening. Anyways, so next up we have Jonna Dunbar, who is the head of the science department and a WISE teacher.
Hi, everyone. Those were really great presentations. It was so exciting to hear some of the work that you all have done. So thank you for sharing that with us. Now it's time to recognize the students who have completed the WISE program, our seniors. So over the past 3 or 4 years, you've likely done some or many of the following: built and programmed your own robots, 3D printed something, explored computer science, created artwork using those computer science skills, built a wind turbine, used a forge, hiked through to check out the geology of Connecticut, maybe even paddled a cardboard boat across the Westover Pond. It was a pretty successful race, y'all, freshman year, right? So we've seen you work through some pretty incredible challenges by letting your problem-solving skills and creativity run free. So as you complete this program and graduate from Westover, you join an amazing group of Westover WISE alumni who continue to strive to lead lives of consequence. Some of you may choose to continue in a WISE type field. Some of you may not. Either way, the skills you have developed will serve you incredibly well. The world is lucky to have more Westover WISE alumni in the world. So congratulations in advance. So we're going to call each of you up to get your certificates. Ready? All right. All right. And
Convenient having
all right. Alice I. Is she here? Thank
Is that okay?
Yeah, El Bialik. All right, Tate Dunbar. Isabel Gittins. Good ones. Katerina Hirschna. Nice. You guys go good high fives. Amy John. It seems she's not here. Selena Crouton. Jasmine Lee. Lily Moyne. Julia Nguyen. Cindy Pino. I like the rhythm here. Rebecca Rao. Hazel So. Salma Talukdar. Kiana Tan. Aubrey Taylor. Caroline Mon. Isabel Wong. And Lan Wen.
That is everybody.
All right, congratulations, y'all.
Perfect. I'll take these. Can't leave them on the stairs, so we'll send them out. So the next part of the program is the award. And before I start that, I just want to once again congratulate all of you to continue and persevere through this program. You opted in and you did wonderfully. Everything I heard from Kate Sabeth is how fantastic you all are. And so I just want to reiterate that. So, finally, we now have the certificate for the Sally Ingersoll Fox Award. So the Sally Ingersoll Fox Award is given in memory of Sally Ingersoll Fox of class of 1943 to a senior for dedication to the Women in Science and Engineering program. This year's winner showed dedication in and outside the classroom. She has always pushed the bounds of each project and excelled beyond expectations. Her ISP is proof of how much time she has dedicated in and out of the classroom and trying to make the world a better place. And that's all we ever do with science and engineering. So this goes to Yale. Come on up! Congratulations! You're welcome! Picture? Of course! All right, come on up. Come on up. So I think that is the end of our program for tonight. Once again, we want to say congratulations to all of our presenters. Thank you for sharing your amazing work with us. Congratulations to all of our graduating seniors. Your dedication to the program has really been amazing, and it's been a real pleasure to work with you over these past 3 or 4 years throughout all of these different classes. So we really appreciate your dedication to the WISE program. And I think otherwise, seniors, presenters should stick around for a picture, and there's snacks. You got some cookies, some lemonade,
Yeah.
some enjoy.
Thank
If
you,
anyone can
everyone.
get a high five, let me know.
Thank you all.